Okay, this is ScareTalk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Crisscross Katrina.
Okay. Crisscross will make you jump.
And we've got Jumbled Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? Nice.
Yeah.
Someone.
So we are here to talk about a jumbled movie. It's on Netflix. I believe it's a Netflix original.
Yes.
It's What's Inside is the title. Brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
Joel, can you tell us who's a part of it?
All right. So this one stars Brittany O'Grady. She's Shelby. She was in Black Christmas 2019. So
she's got
she's
good track record.
Yeah. James Morosini, he's Cyrus. And we got David Thompson, who's Forbes, who was in Fear Street Part 1, 1994, which I didn't recognize him in that.
I think he's the brother of like the main character. He's like the nerdy brother, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there's not that many people in the movie unless he's like a very side character. But this was written and directed by Greg Jardin.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We've got a group of friends gathering for a pre-wedding party that descends into an existential nightmare when an estranged friend arrives with a mysterious game that awakens long-hidden secrets, desires, and grudges.
Oh, man.
All right. So before we go any further, make sure you're liking and subscribing to our channel, like our videos if you like them, and comment down below and let us know your thoughts on It's What's Inside. Tell us if you agree with us, if you have different opinions. Also, go to patreon.com/ScareTalk and sign up there, and you'll get to hear all the spoiler talk for all of our episodes and some exclusive episodes as well that you can only get on Patreon. Okay, so let's think of a word each to describe this film. Katrina.
Oh.
Let's go with you first.
Okay. I'm going to go with yeah, it's a hyphenated word. Mixed up.
Mixed up. Okay. I will say twisty.
You actually stole mine.
Yeah. All right.
About
what do you
twisted?
Got?
No.
Okay.
It's a different word.
It's twisty and then gets twisted.
Twisty and turny. So yeah, it's one of those types of films where there's some twists and turns in the plot. It's A24. I don't think I mentioned that. And it reminds me and Katrina and probably you too, Joel, of Bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar type of setup and plot. Group of friends, young.
Yeah.
There's a history between them, and they play a game, and things come out in the chaos of the game.
Yeah, I would say for me, it was like putting bodies together with Talk to Me. Put those together and you've got this movie.
Yeah. Also an A24 film.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Was Bodies?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's mix it up a little, A24. Even though I'm liking what you're doing.
As long as they're making quality movies like this and like that, then keep doing it. But
I do think that I was predicting.
You did predict one of the big twists pretty early on, and I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
I did not predict that. I was not on that trail at all. So that twist caught me off guard, but I really liked it. The game is very interesting. I've never seen a movie. I mean, I've seen movies like it, but not in a game form where you're the characters are trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it in that way, which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate the characters, and I thought the acting was good, but there isn't too many likable characters in the movie. I would say maybe Shelby is likable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I think they're
Maya
intentionally not very likable.
Yeah.
I think I hated Cyrus. Like, he was my least favorite of the characters in this movie.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, from the first moment you see him, he's just like, I'm like, this guy is not gonna be. No.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like the Dennis, I think was his name. Dude who thought he was some rapper or something.
Oh yeah.
Him.
Yeah. That guy right in the middle.
Yeah. I didn't mind him as much.
I mean, I guess he was kind of funny, but
yeah,
he was just, I don't know, kind of the jock type of the group.
Yeah.
And then you got Nikki, who I don't really like her. She's kind of like the ditzy Instagram model or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Kind of full of herself, I guess. But I liked the way they went about doing things, like some of the transitions, some of the shots, some of the editing was really cool.
Yeah.
Some of the music I liked. It was creative.
Yeah.
It was creatively put together. With all of that.
Yeah, and I feel like the filming was great. You got the feel of I feel like you still got the feel of the group of like what it was like to be part of that group.
Yeah, you can put yourself there.
Yeah. And I did like the music too. And I didn't mind not liking the characters. Like oftentimes when I don't like a character, it's like, oh my gosh, I guess I don't like her. But I didn't mind not liking the characters because I felt like that was part of the movie.
Yeah.
They weren't supposed to be likable.
Yeah.
I found it was strange that they were all here for the wedding. Like, this was all before the I think the night before the wedding and everything. They're just like having fun with friends, but the fiance wasn't a part of this at all.
Yeah.
Like, I found that a little weird.
I
know they're a group of
bachelor party, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was kind of like a bachelor party for him.
Yeah.
And they like mentioned, why isn't she here? And
I don't remember.
I can't remember exactly what he said. But he had like a reason why she wasn't there.
Yeah. I feel like she was like out with her family or something.
I don't know.
Her mom, or
I'm not going to pretend like I do know.
She could have like eventually showed up. Like, this is a group of 20 somethings, like mid 20 to late 20s. They're going to be up all night probably.
Yeah, but this is the group that was the group before he met her.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it was like his last time with his friends, with that group together. And so I think she like knew, like, oh, I'm going to let you have your time with your group. Kind of thing.
Yeah. But you think that she would want to like know his friends at some point.
Well, I don't think that they didn't know her. I think it was more that, like, the night before the wedding, the wife goes, or the bride goes and does her thing with her group, and the guy goes and does his thing with his group. I think that's a common thing.
Yeah,
you're
bachelor.
It
bachelor
just doesn't
parties,
seem as common when there's other girls
but when you
involved.
mix it, yeah.
But I think that it's still a common thing where like the guy goes and hangs out with
Mhm.
his buddies, and because the bride and groom don't want to be together the night before the wedding.
Yeah.
Traditionally,
the day of the wedding, because then they would be together in the morning. And
yeah. Traditionally, they
Yeah.
stay apart from each other until
Yeah.
they see each other at the wedding.
Mhm.
yeah, it's just, I guess this is the group that, you know, he decided he wanted to spend it
To
with.
hang with.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. A random group of people.
Yeah.
And
It's like they didn't like hang out very often. It seemed
No, they
like
hadn't seen
were,
each other
like,
for years,
Yeah.
but they used to hang out
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And so they were like a group. Go ahead.
I was like, as I was watching this, I was like, there's no way this group of people would have hung out with Forbes like as teenagers or like high schoolers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
It was in college, wasn't it?
Or
That they hung out?
Yeah,
well,
it was
he
college.
was going. They were friends, I think, before they weren't off in college. Because I don't know if I should say further stuff, but there's something happens with Forbes' character when that's the last time they see each other. They see him is that night.
Yeah, that was
that was college though.
Yeah, but they've known each other before that. That's not like the first time that they like knew each other. I think that they know each other before that, but even still, like I still didn't see this group of people. This is like the group of people that would have like made fun of people like Forbes, not hung out with him. I think, but
yeah, I could see that. He's kind of like a nerdy geek kind of guy.
But I feel like they talked about that too, though. They talked about how like we hung out with Forbes because he was like crazy. He did anything. And he would like always push limits. This guy who you would think would do nothing did like more than any of us
he was
would.
Crazy.
It's kind of like a McLovin situation.
Yeah.
And I think that happens. Like with like,
and maybe it's not like their best friend, but it's like, hey, we're gonna have
we're gonna have him at the party.
Bring him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I feel like we had a friend like that in our group, where it was someone who was like an unlikely person to be part of the group, but like he was always at the parties because he was crazy, and but
like Serpa.
Yeah.
Invite him over. So anyways, I'm
going to defend everything that you say.
Yeah, apparently so.
So Joel, what did you think of the like main twist of the movie?
Are we talking about the very end?
Not the very end.
Because I feel like that was like the biggest twist of the movie.
Okay, yeah, it is the very end. It's
I would say it's like the scene before the very end. Because the very end, I thought was like an okay thing, but there's a character that shows up.
Yeah,
that's the very end.
I mean, that's
what twist was after that? I mean, we'll talk about it in the spoilers.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I think I know what he's talking about, but So I know that they mentioned this character earlier in the movie, but I'm not a fan of twists where you're just going to, I don't know how to put this, a twist where you're gonna introduce the character to us for the first time out of the blue. Like, we didn't know this character at all.
She called it.
Oh, I called it right away.
We talked
at the very beginning.
Character.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Like when they first started the game, I was like, oh.
It was something
they said something
that kind of tipped you off. It was like something with a facial expression or something was said, and you're like, oh, what if that is this? And
yeah.
Huh.
And right away I was like, huh. And I kept like thinking like, okay, how's that gonna work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
She does those things.
I
I
didn't
had
catch
watched
on to
the movie. I'm glad that I didn't watch it with you the first time because I watched the movie on my own, and then I was like, "Oh, you got to see this. This one's pretty good." And then she kind of called the biggest part of the movie, or at least somewhat, pretty early on. So.
Yeah, you did a good job not giving it away that I was right.
Yeah,
so that was good
because it sounds like such a out there thing to think of, and so the fact that you were right was like, what the heck? How did you even come up with that?
I know. I had a feeling that this character might make an appearance at some point because why talk about characters that aren't like visibly there with everyone? Usually if you do, they're gonna make an appearance at some point in the movie.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was gonna be like that.
Yeah. Well, it's like Bodies, where they were talking about a certain character, and then that character shows up at the end, but it didn't really mean anything
didn't matter.
That movie. So anyways, we're trying to stay away from spoilers. We're not even talking about what the game is, which is a good.
No.
Yeah,
we're doing a good job.
We haven't mentioned anything. I mean, that's in the trailer, so it's not like it'd be a spoiler.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't watch the trailer.
I remember seeing the trailer.
Like, I don't know how you're gonna do a movie like this without giving something away in the trailer. Like, what the game is. And
I remember watching the trailer once, and I just remember being confused and like thinking, okay, this just looks weird, and not really understanding what was going on.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe it's more clear in the trailer what the game is, and I just didn't pick up on it. I don't know.
That makes sense.
It's weird because I watched the trailer on Netflix, and then when you like hover over a movie or a show, like give, like a trailer or a scene, it was when you hover over this movie, it gives the scene that they're like explaining the game.
Oh,
that scene isn't in the movie like at all.
Oh.
So I'm like, I thought when I hovered over that, because I did that and then I clicked play. I didn't even watch the trailer for it, and so it felt like I was about to get something different than what I actually got. But the trailer was an actual like trailer for the movie. But like that scene, unless I just spaced out on that scene, which I don't think I did, just completely ignored it. That scene was not in this movie. So
interesting.
Weird.
Or it was explained in a different way than it was in the trailer or in that little scene.
I want to go test that out now.
Yeah. Maybe it was like a scene that was going to be used, and they're like, oh, this would be a good thing to kind of get someone interested in the movie.
Yeah.
So like, let's use that scene for Netflix, because it is a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
But we won't put that in the trailer because that's too much. But we want to maybe get someone hooked when they're looking through.
Yeah.
And we can just give them this.
That scene wasn't just not in the trailer; it was not in the movie.
No, I know.
Used,
yeah.
But it was kind of weird.
That's weird. That's interesting.
I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will say I really liked this movie. Obviously, I watched it. I liked it. I wanted Katrina to watch it. I even watched it again yesterday.
Oh wow!
I wasn't necessarily paying attention completely. I just wanted to kind of get a little, because it's been a little while since we watched it. So I kind of wanted to get a little refresher on the characters and how everything
I was like, wow, you really remembered their names.
And because it is kind of a somewhat complicated movie, and you have to pay attention to know, to keep up with what's going on. And so they help you out, which is nice. They kind of, when things start to get jumbled and a little confusing, then the movie kind of helps you out with some dialogue between the characters, and
Mm-hmm.
the way that the editing and the filming is done can kind of help you out with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I feel like this could almost, like, in a different way, this could almost be like a Christopher Nolan type of movie, where it could be like, not like, I don't know, like Tenet, or, you know, a movie like that, where it's like this kind of big idea, you know? And I feel like he would come up with something like this. Of course, it would be on a grander scheme, and there'd be a lot more going on.
Yeah.
But the main concept, I feel
Yeah.
like, would be something that he might make a movie and do something similar.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
main
Well,
idea.
and it's something that like could keep going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there could be a sequel. For
Yeah.
sure. Because, yeah, there's could be more to tell, more to do.
Yeah.
All right. Before we give our rating, we're going to talk to the critics and see what they think. See what the audience around the world thinks. And then we will tell you what we think as far as a rating.
Okay. Well, this one actually gets some pretty decent reviews. It is both a fresh tomato and a full bucket of popcorn.
Okay.
So you've got a 79% on the tomato meter and a 70% on the popcorn meter.
All right.
So it's got higher reviews from the critics than the audience, which I almost felt like this was a movie that would get more audience, a higher audience score than critic score.
How many critics?
It's kind of a fun movie.
76.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's actually
pretty good.
Yeah, that's a decent amount for like a Netflix movie
Yeah.
like this.
I guess it's easy to watch.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the theater or anything.
Yeah. I wonder if like with like social media and like how many critics there are now, I wonder if like critic scores we're gonna start seeing more of a trend of them changing.
Yeah, because just your average YouTuber,
average
like us,
podcaster,
can become a Rotten Tomatoes critic. So
a lot of the times
we wouldn't sell out like that though.
Oh yeah, we're still waiting for our contact. I'm waiting for the contact. I'll sell out.
A lot of the times critics will actually get streamers for movies that are in theaters, so they don't even have to go to the theaters to like watch them and review.
True.
Although a lot of the time I feel like I would want to though, because you get like the full like, you know, you can't. I feel
certain
like
movies need to be seen in theater, like Cobweb. IMDb gives it a 6.6.
Okay.
And the Google audience gives it a 3.7.
All right.
Wow.
So pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good scores.
Yeah, around across the board with all of that. So let's see what we think. Joel, let's go with you first.
I enjoyed this one. I would watch this one again for sure. And I can't wait to talk about like the spoiler stuff in here, because there's some to talk about. But I would give this an 86.
All right. I thought you were gonna go lower.
Oh really? Oh
yeah.
Yeah, from your enthusiasm.
No, I liked
I was thinking it might be lower too.
I enjoyed this one.
I like this movie. I might watch it again.
I don't know that I have really any negatives. I mean, I said there weren't many likable characters, but
that could be part of
that's part of the movie.
Like you said, it's part of the movie. So yeah, I don't.
Okay, if you have no negatives.
This is a perfect movie then.
What is this?
Just trying to think if
this should be 100.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm gonna go 88.
Okay.
88 with no negatives.
Yeah, I mean, because once you know, you know.
Mm.
So But I don't know. I mean,
you
I
can still
don't
have
know.
fun with it.
I mean, I've watched it
After
3
that.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this should be in the 90s.
Pretty surprising that you don't have it in the 90s.
Let's go
watching it
90.
3 times.
Let's go 90. Let's go 90.
Okay.
I feel like I've been giving too many high scores.
Maybe they're just getting really good at making movies.
When you watch a movie 3 times in a week, then that deserves a 90.
Well, it's been a couple of weeks. But...
okay, but still, within a month.
We watched it when it like first came out, Joel.
Oh, okay, within a month.
That's
3 times in a month is still a lot.
Yeah. Still. Well, and I mean, my memory isn't the greatest right now, but I did feel like I kind of need a refresher when I watched it yesterday, and that's unless it's just me, that's a good thing for a movie because I remember I liked the movie. And I know that the plot is kind of twisty, so I wanted to make sure I had everything in line before reviewing it. So I think that's a good thing too, because it's rewatchable.
Yeah,
definitely rewatchable. I would rewatch this movie a lot. I guess I liked it better than both of you, because I was definitely thinking a higher score from both of you. For me, it's like I said, it's like a combination of Bodies, and Talk to Me. And I love both those movies.
What would you rank this one with those two?
Oh man,
that's hard. I hadn't prepared for that.
This is in the middle. Talk to Me will always.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was like Talk to Me, this, and Bodies, but very, very close.
Yeah.
And maybe even this and Bodies, like next to each other.
Yeah.
Because the characters in Bodies, it's like, oh my gosh, so much fun.
Yeah,
still not likable characters, but hilarious to watch. Like so much fun.
But you have to kind of be on board with the comedy.
Yeah.
A lot of people just get annoyed with that.
Yeah. And if the characters in this movie had even a little bit more of personality like the ones in Bodies, this movie would be even higher on my list. But I really like this movie. I'm going to give it a 94.
Wow.
Okay.
I will watch this movie a lot. I love this movie. It was very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I've only watched it once.
Yeah. Well, it's on Netflix, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It gets our approval.
Yes.
For the 3 of us.
It's definitely worth the watch if you have Netflix, especially. If you don't, it's worth getting a free trial for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. But even more so, it's worth getting a free trial for Patreon to listen to the spoilers once you watch it.
Yeah, definitely don't sign up and watch the spoilers for us until you've seen it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a very spoilerific movie. So I think did a great job not spoiling much. So
yeah.
Go ahead and check it out. And if you are part of Patreon, then continue on with us and we'll talk about spoilers. Let us know what you think about it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
All right.